Okay, so let's look at extrinsic semiconductor. So we have seen intrinsic semiconductor, which is of no use for us. Okay, it is extrinsic semiconductor which is useful for us making in PN junction diode. So it's a pure impure form. Okay, means you add some sort of impurity into the pure intrinsic semiconductor. Okay, so purest form is the intrinsic semiconductor where you don't apply any impurity, which doesn't have any impurity. But once you have a intrinsic semiconductor or pure semiconductor, you add some dopant or you call it impurity, so that we can tweak some of the properties of semiconductor, intrinsic semiconductor, and that becomes extrinsic semiconductor. Those are of two types. First is p type and another is n type. N type we will see next, but p type we will see now. So p type is it depends upon what kind of impurity you are applying. Okay, so in the intrinsic semiconductor, if you apply if you put some certain types of impurity, it will make p type extrinsic semiconductor. If you add some other type of impurity, it will make n type of extrinsic semiconductor. Those the dopants which you can put in an extrinsic semiconductor, intrinsic semiconductor, will be arsenic, phosphorus, gallium, boron. These are the impurities you can use and put inside an intrinsic semiconductor so that it will become extrinsic. And we will use those elements for making p-type semiconductor, which will have electron deficiency in their outermost shell. Okay, in their atomic structure outermost shell. So let's say boron is one example for making p-type semiconductor. If you take boron, its atomic number is 5: hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron. So in inner shell it will be 2 electrons will be filled, and the outer shell 3 electrons will be filled. And if you have nucleus like this, in the inner shell it is 2, in the outer shell it is 3. So it is requiring one extra it requires to complete its octet, so that it will have 4. Okay, so it will try to acquire 1 electron so that it will become complete stable. So mind you that this ring has K, L, M, like this it goes, right? So K consists of 2, then other guys L consists of 4, then 8, and it goes like this. Okay, so this has to have 1 more electron so that it will become 4 and it will be completely stable, but it doesn't have 1. So that is why we are using this boron element to make p-type, so that it will create a hole. Okay, so when we fuse these kind of elements with this structure, it acquires some of the positions. Boron will acquire some of the positions of silicon. Okay, that's how the structure will look like. Some places of silicon it will require. Now it has 3 electrons in their outermost shell, which will be used for making covalent bonds with Si. One Si will be here, Si will be here, like this. But one it is not having the 4th one, and because of that it will create a hole. Okay, by default it will create. We are not applying any temperature here, just as in intrinsic we were applying the temperature to create holes and electrons, but here we are just adding impurity and we are able to get one hole. Okay, and plus what will happen if we apply temperature, plus if we apply, let's say T is equal to 300 degree Kelvin, it will generate equal numbers of holes and electrons, just like intrinsic semiconductor. So by adding impurity, by adding temperature, both the things, you will see this will generate equal number of holes and electrons, but this will already have generated some holes. So you can see the pattern that holes will be much more greater than electrons. Okay, I hope it is making sense. We added impurity so that holes was generated, and we are also giving it heat so that it will generate equal number of holes and electrons. So total we will have more number of holes than electrons. Okay, and that will make it a p-type semiconductor where holes is greater than electron, or you can say n is greater than p. Okay, and there will not be any intrinsic concentration. Okay, so one will be greater than the other, sorry, p will be greater than n, holes is greater than n. Now along with this there is one more thing called Na, that is acceptor in concentration. It is the concentration of the ion. This hole will carry one negative ion to make it electrically stable. Okay, electrically neutral if you want. So this will carry one negative charge along with this. This charge will be counted with respect to Na. Okay, so in p-type semiconductor what you will have holes. Okay, along with that there will be ions attached, negative ions, which we call acceptor ions, acceptor ion concentration, and we will have electrons as well. Okay, so total three things we will acquire from p-type: acceptor concentration, hole concentration, electron concentration. Electron concentration will be very less. Okay, so minority, whereas holes concentration and these guys will be majority. So overall it will become a positive type of, you will see that the p-type is hole dominating type. Okay, hole dominating, which will consist of attached with their ion as well, acceptor ions. Okay, that's why we sometimes deals in p-type and n-type semiconductor, we talk about acceptor concentration, hole concentration, as well as the electron concentration. Okay, now we will look for, just to give you a clear picture, I'm not going into the detail, I hope you are getting the full scope, how I am trying to connect to p-n junction. Okay, now we will look for n-type. Okay, let's look at n-type semiconductor now, which is another type of extrinsic semiconductor. Now this is our simple intrinsic semiconductor, which is very pure. Now we are using dopant phosphorus. Atomic number is 15, which is divided in as 285. Inner shell, first inner shell, second inner shell, and outer shell, or you can say valence shell. This is how it will look like. The plus sign is nucleus, then the inner orbit I1 carrying 2 electrons, I2 carrying 8, and I3, this V or out, valence electrons are 5. Okay, this is what is useful. So some of the phosphorus elements will occupy the position of silicon. That is what it will happen when you put the impurity of phosphorus. Now what will happen? Out of 5, 4 will make bonds with silicon. You can see this phosphorus made silicon bond with silicon. So this 4 is occupied, but 1 out of 5 will be remaining. Okay, 1 electron is remaining outside, 1 remaining is in phosphorus remains outside, and this will make a free electron. Just like we had free hole in p-type, we will get free of cost, we are getting free electron. Okay, and this will make n greater than p. Okay, so I hope you are getting the feel. When you apply temperature 300 degree, let's say, it will generate equal number of holes and electrons, and plus you are adding the impurity as well, impurity of phosphorus. Now phosphorus will make its outermost shell 5 electrons. Out of that it will make covalent bonds with silicon using 4 electrons, but 1 electron will be left for each phosphorus atom. Okay, and that's how you will get extra electrons. So from here you got equal holes and electrons, but from this impurity you got extra electrons, which made n greater than p. Okay, and this will be carrying a charge to make it electrically neutral, and that positive will be, this is different, okay, this is nucleus, this is charge, which will be Nd, okay, which is called it is represented by Nd donor concentration, means how many charges per unit volume we have, how many these kind of charges. Okay, so usually in N type you will face N, P and Nd. This is for N type. For P type you will have N, P and Na. Here this will be dominating and here this will be dominating. Okay, they will be almost similar to each other. That is something I don't want to go in detail with. I just wanted to give you a picture that if I'll draw a box and I'll say it is P type, then you have to quickly imagine that there will be majority carriers will be holes, which will consider acceptor ions plus some electrons you will have as well. Okay, so that is P type. Similarly, if you will see some N type, then you consider that majority there are N electrons that carries positive ions along with them, which is Nd, representing by Nd, and there will be few holes. Okay, so Np Nd, Np Na. So that's how we go on, and now we will merge the P and N type. How what all properties we can see. So you are getting the flow. First we saw why we chose conductor, semiconductor, then we saw intrinsic and extrinsic semiconductor, then intrinsic in extrinsic we saw P and N. Now we will merge P and N type semiconductor so that we will get PN junction. So you are getting how I am building up upon the diode chapter. Okay, so I hope this gives a brief introduction of how we are going towards PN junction and PN junction diode. Okay, I didn't want it to go in detail. Again I am telling you because it's not a course on devices, electronic devices. It is more on analog electronics, which deals with circuit and stuff. So yeah, this is it. Okay.